Sugar is everywhere, sneaking into our coffee, hiding in processed snacks, and even lurking in so-called healthy foods. It's addictive, and most of us consume way more than we realize. The average person eats about 17 teaspoons of added sugar daily, far exceeding the recommended limit of 6-9 teaspoons. Over time, this can wreak havoc on our health, contributing to weight gain, inflammation, and serious conditions like diabetes and heart disease. Curious about what would happen if I cut sugar out completely, I decided to take on a 30-day no-sugar challenge. No added sugars, no artificial sweeteners, no sugary drinks, just whole unprocessed foods. What I discovered was eye-opening, from unexpected physical changes to surprising mental and emotional shifts. Here's what happened when I quit sugar for 30 days, and why you might want to try it too. The first few days were tougher than I expected. Sugar is not just a taste, it's a habit, and breaking it felt like a battle. I craved sweets constantly, chocolate, soda, even the sugary yogurt I used to eat for breakfast. Research explains why. Sugar triggers dopamine release in the brain, similar to addictive substances. A 20 study in the journal Appetite found that sugar activates reward pathways, making withdrawal feel real. I experienced headaches, irritability, and low energy, which experts call the sugar detox phase. To cope, I replaced sugary snacks with whole foods like nuts, fruits, and veggies. Natural sugars in fruits like berries satisfied my sweet tooth without spiking my blood sugar. I also drank plenty of water and herbal teas to stay hydrated and curb cravings. By day 5, the fog started to lift, and I noticed my energy stabilizing. This wasn't just in my head. Studies, like one from the Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2020, show that reducing sugar intake can improve energy regulation by stabilizing insulin levels. By the end of the first week, my body began to feel different. I lost about 3 pounds, which wasn't surprising since cutting sugar often reduces calorie intake. A 2019 meta-analysis in the BMJ found that lowering sugar consumption is linked to modest but consistent weight loss, especially when paired with whole foods. But it wasn't just about the scale. My skin looked clearer and less puffy. Sugar is known to cause inflammation, which can lead to acne and dull skin. A 2016 study in the Journal of Investigative Dermatology linked high-sugar diets to increased sebum production, which clogs pores. Without sugar, my face had a brighter, smoother appearance, something I hadn't expected. I also noticed less bloating. Sugary foods, especially processed carbs, can cause water retention. By swapping them for fiber-rich vegetables and lean proteins, my digestion improved, and my stomach felt flatter. These early changes were motivating, but the real surprises came later. Around day 10, my taste buds started to change. Foods I used to find bland, like plain Greek yogurt or roasted vegetables, tasted naturally sweet. This is backed by science. A 2017 study in Physiology and Behavior showed that reducing sugar intake can recalibrate taste perception, making you more sensitive to subtle flavors. I no longer needed sweeteners to enjoy my meals, and I started appreciating the natural flavors of whole foods. This shift made it easier to stick to the challenge, as I wasn't constantly fighting cravings. I also began experimenting with spices like cinnamon and vanilla to enhance flavors without sugar. Cooking became more fun, and I felt in control of what I was putting into my body. This newfound awareness spilled over into other habits. I started reading food labels religiously and was shocked at how much hidden sugar is in things like salad dressings and granola bars. By week 2, my energy levels were noticeably higher and more consistent. Before the challenge, I'd often crash in the afternoon, reaching for a sugary coffee or a snack to perk up. Without sugar, those crashes disappeared. A 2021 study in Nutrients found that high-sugar diets disrupt blood sugar regulation, leading to energy spikes and dips. By eating balanced meals with protein, healthy fats, and complex carbs, I maintained steady energy throughout the day. I also slept better. Sugar, especially when consumed late in the day, can interfere with melatonin production, the hormone that regulates sleep. A 2019 study in Sleep Medicine Reviews linked high-sugar diets to poorer sleep quality. Without it, I fell asleep faster and woke up feeling refreshed. This improved sleep had a ripple effect, boosting my mood and focus. I felt sharper, like my brain was firing on all cylinders. Mentally, the changes were just as profound. Around day 20, I noticed I was less anxious and more even-tempered. Sugar has been linked to mood swings and anxiety in several studies. For example, a 2017 study in Scientific Reports found that high-sugar diets increase the risk of mood disorders by promoting inflammation in the brain. Without sugar, I felt calmer and more resilient to stress. I also had better mental clarity. Before the challenge, I'd sometimes feel foggy, especially after a sugary meal. A 2020 study in neuroscience and biobehavioral reviews showed that sugar can impair cognitive function by causing insulin spikes that disrupt brain signaling. Cutting it out made me feel more focused, and I was more productive at work and in my daily tasks. These mental benefits were a game changer, proving that sugar's impact goes far beyond physical health. Physically, the results kept piling up. By day 25, I'd lost a total of 7 pounds, and my clothes fit better. More importantly, I felt stronger and more agile. Sugar-heavy diets are linked to muscle loss and joint pain due to inflammation. A 2018 study in arthritis research and therapy found that reducing sugar can decrease inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein, which eases joint discomfort. I noticed less stiffness in my knees and back, which made daily activities like walking or climbing stairs easier. My blood pressure, which had been borderline high, also dropped slightly. A 2020 study in The Lancet found that cutting added sugars improves cardiovascular health by reducing blood pressure and cholesterol levels. These changes weren't just numbers. They made me feel lighter and more capable in my body. As I approached day 30, I reflected on how much had changed in just 1 month. My cravings were nearly gone, and I no longer saw sugar as a necessary part of my life. I developed new habits, like meal prepping and choosing whole foods over processed ones. I also became more mindful of my eating patterns, savoring meals instead of mindlessly snacking. The challenge wasn't perfect. I had moments of temptation, especially at social events. But I learned to navigate them by bringing my own snacks or focusing on non-food aspects of gatherings. The biggest lesson was that sugar doesn't have to control you. A 2022 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition emphasized that long-term sugar reduction leads to sustained health benefits, including lower risks of diabetes, heart disease, and even certain cancers. And even toy. By the end of the 30 days, the results were undeniable. I'd lost weight, gained energy, improved my skin, and felt mentally sharper and emotionally balanced. My sleep was better, my joints felt looser, and my overall health markers, like blood pressure, had improved. But beyond the physical, I felt empowered. Quitting sugar showed me how much control I have over my health and well-being. It wasn't about deprivation. It was about rediscovering food in its natural state and listening to my body's needs. If you're thinking about trying this, start small. Cut out sugary drinks or desserts for a week and see how you feel. Build from there, and don't be afraid to seek support, whether from a nutritionist or a friend. The science is clear, and my experience backs it up. Ditching sugar, even for 30 days, can transform your body and mind in ways you never imagined.